Okay, so my question now is, and this is one that I get asked a lot on the comments on my videos where I make the yogurt. And I'm saying yogurt, and I know that technically it's fermented dairy, but it's just like yogurt. So I call it yogurt. But what is the difference between just taking a supplement of the L-Reuteri or any of the other three probiotics rather than fermenting them into like will you still get the benefits if you just want to order a bottle of supplements and take one every day?
So it depends what you're trying to do. For SIBO, you're better off making the yogurts
Okay.
because you want those super duper high counts. But what if you just want to take Reuteri? So I came out with this, for instance.
Yeah, I was going to show that.
Shameless plug. But because people got so frustrated by trying to source it, this is my Reuteri from Oxyceutics.
And I have a link for this in the description for anybody that wants to.
Thank you, Nili. Yeah. Because people got so frustrated, and I wasn't confident that the original source was a good idea because there's some problem with that product. So I did this. Now people know they can get it from us, and that's the strain that we've studied the strain in animals and in humans. We know a lot about it, and it works. But this has 10 or 20. There's two different products. There's a 10 billion per capsule and a 20 billion per capsule. There's also the Gut to Glow that is 4 capsules per day, and that provides 40 billion. But so if you're looking for smoother skin, any of those work. Okay. If you're looking for restoration of youthful musculature, any of those work. If you want deeper sleep, any of those work. So a lot of those effects can occur at those lower counts. But SIBO in particular, you need those super duper kick butt counts, like 300 billion. So I don't know how successful you'd be just by taking like the supplement. I don't think you would be, or else people could take a off-the-shelf probiotic that happened to have some Reuteri in it. There's some that have Reuteri in it, and your SIBO would go away. And it does not go away.
Right.
There's really no probiotic that you can take that eradicates SIBO. That was my original interest. If you did take a commercial probiotic off the shelf, would SIBO go away? No, we know that with confidence. Yeah. So, but by specifically choosing species that colonize the small intestine, where SIBO, the battle of SIBO occurs, and are known to produce bacteriocins, natural peptide antibiotics that kill fecal microbes. So the SIBO yogurt formulation specifically does that. So that's where the yogurt fermentation really shines.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And maybe like if you do the yogurt and you get your SIBO taken care of, and then you just want to, take a break on making, because it is quite a process to make the yogurt, you could just take the supplement maybe as a maintenance type thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And maybe you get sleep out of it. Maybe you want to preserve the increase in dermal collagen. Maybe you want to make sure you're able to increase joint collagen in your cartilage.
I'm going to scan through these questions here. Oh, real quick, I wanted to ask, so you have the L-Reuteri that is out now, and you can use this for making the yogurt. And do you use 10 capsules like we used to use of the BioGaia?
So, yeah. So rule of thumb, it takes about 2 billion microbes to confidently get the yogurt. So in the original recipe where we got those BioGaia tablets that had 200 million per tablet, which sounds like a lot, but it's not. And one tablet will not make the yogurt. It will fail almost every time. So back then I found crushing 10 tablets. And I think there's something wrong with that product also, where a lot of people are getting dead microbes. And so it's not real consistent. I'm not sure what the problem is. I've tried to talk to them, by the way. They sometimes don't return my calls anymore.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like me for some odd reason. When I first called them, this was years ago, I said, "Hey, I'm making yogurt with your," and they said, "No, you can't. No one's ever been able to do it." I said, "I've done it." This is way back. I said, "I've done it 30 times.
Wow,
it's still delicious."
Wow.
They essentially kind of stopped responding to me. I don't know why. There's something weird going on.
Yeah. Okay.
I very unhelpful. Sadly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes sense why you would want to, have something of your own that you're confident in.
So if you have the 10 billion, one capsule is more than enough. You could even open the capsule and use a half or less.
Oh, wow.
and it does just fine.
Okay. So yeah, so this has 30 capsules in it. This would last you quite a long time if you were just going to use it for making the yogurt. Would you recommend keeping this in the fridge after it's opened? If you're going to keep it for a long time like that?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Even at room temperature, for all microbes, there's an expected gradual decline in number. It's not like that. It's kind of like that. So it'll go for at least a year.
Okay.
Room temperature. All you do with refrigeration is you slow it down a little bit. But it's not that helpful.
Can you use the Gut to Glow supplement to make the yogurt? And I'm going to add on to this question. Are there benefits to using this instead of the My Reuteri by itself?
Yeah, so the Gut to Glow has, of course, Reuteri, but also collagen peptide, marine source collagen peptide. I chose marine source because it's effective as bovine, porcine, or chicken at much lower doses, a tenth of the dose. So you can put it in capsule. And it has hyaluronic acid. By the way, Nili, hyaluronic acid, one of the most interesting things around. Ladies say, oh, don't tell me. I apply it as a serum. I pay all this money, right, to get. Well, so I asked them, so if you put it here, what happened to the neck what happened to the skin on your neck or your abdomen? Nothing, of course. So hyaluronic acid is really interesting consumed orally, including it's one of the rare fibers from animals, because hyaluronic acid is meant to come from consumption of organ meats like brain and skin and other things. Well, most people don't want to do that. So we have this collagen and hyaluronic acid depleted lifestyle because of the absurd advice to cut dietary fat and saturated fat and cholesterol. So we're adding it back. And then astaxanthin's a carotenoid. I chose that because it's the most potent carotenoid of all. It has great evidence for having such things as protecting us from sun damage, skin, and also reducing inflammation and reducing waist circumference. So I formulated that for skin. Turns out it's also for body composition and other benefits. So you can use the Gut to Glow, but what you'll get the microbe to proliferate, but you won't have any more collagen, hyaluronic acid, or the carotenoid because it gets depleted as you use a little of the prior batch. So, but you can. The only things to be aware of is the astaxanthin is going to be pink or orange, and you'll see a little of that in the first batch. Subsequent batches, you won't have it. That's not fungus. It's not mold. It's the astaxanthin. So you can do it. It's very easy to use the Gut to Glow, but if you use only the yogurt, then you're going to have to find some other way to get the other things, which you can do. You can go to get bovine collagen. You can get hyaluronic acid. It's pretty widely available. And you can get the carotenoid astaxanthin as a supplement. You can do that too.
Okay. All right.